things I need to like call? Any like come watch us here or anything? What? Do you have anything I should I should shout out? Where can you come watch us again? Son of a- Idaho_Smash. Come catch us here. We have a lot of young upcoming players. There are fierce fighters. They're also just mad gorillas. Jade, it's impossible now. I'm stuck here now. I have a drink. I'm on the couch. I have a headset. I gotta talk to everybody. I'm stuck here now. No, it's not. I don't want to leave. I'm too comfy. This is the best. This is the most fun I've had so far. Huh? Alright. Oh, where are you going? A free show? Where now? Oh.
Yeah, so if you want to, definitely show up for the hype. It's free. Yeah, if not, I'm going downtown tonight to my season. Hey, actually, matter of fact, let me get your contact. Here, let me know when you're out.
Hey, you're more than, if you ever need a plus one, you're more than welcome to ask me. Do you want my number? You want Snapchat? I am 208. Yeah, go for it.
Who am I commentating with?
It's right here. 3, 2, 1. Go! Right here. Do you want to commentate you?
All right. So, Waga ZSS versus Atlas Wii Fit. I assume this is, losers top 8 qualifier. And Atlas was playing Waga in friendlies earlier and was putting up quite a solid fight.
Yeah, I really did. I really enjoyed seeing their kind of scrappy what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Back again, Waga.
Yeah, exactly right. So whoever loses this is out, and no matter which way you cut it, it's going to be a very surprising loss. Atlas taking an unexpected loss, actually commentated in round 1 versus Chi, the Fox. Now we got Waga on his ZSS.
So how have you been kind of keeping up with how good is there any kind of expectations that we're wanting to see out of this? Who's been really bringing their heat? Who's been really adapting really well right now?
Well, lately I haven't seen much of this tournament, and I do not know much about Atlas, but Waga has always been one of our strongest players.
Certainly.
I don't think in the past 3 or 4 months he's been outside the top 5 at any point. And right now I'd say he's probably a top 3 or 4 player. Really solid, beating PAL SSBU. So I'd definitely say he's the favorite to win this, especially given Atlas's earlier performance here.
But just also those few little friendlies that we've been seeing, Atlas is pulling out some really interesting movement with the Wii Fit trainer, especially with the volleyball that I'm personally not unaware of. It's giving him a lot of. I feel like it's giving him a lot of really interesting space to work with, and a lot of interesting covers to keep keep that zair, keep that space that he, probably Wii Fit trainer needs, so that way they can work their way in.
Yeah, and I mean, deep breathing is going to be the main thing setting apart this match, right? Like, if the Wii Fit can get deep breathing, they're going to have so much more kill threat, so much more kill threat, so much more ability to run around and compete in neutral against ZSS.
That's good.
So it depends really how effective Waga is at shutting down Wii Fit's attempt to set that up. Because it does take a while, especially after the first one, to recharge that deep breathing.
Because deep breathing is essentially it's pivotal into being able to get any of your kill pressure off.
Yeah, I mean, Wii Fit can definitely do some nasty stuff without deep breathing, but I'd say deep breathing Wii Fit is much, much better than
it's
Wii
the
Fit
real
without.
character.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like Arsene Joker or Limit Cloud, right? Like, that's where you need to be.
You need to start bringing out your power spikes and when to effectively bring them out so that you can really start getting your stocks.
For sure, and speaking of power spikes, Waga killing really suddenly and explosively as he tends to do on this character.
Right? We barely had any time to even mention anything on what's going on here right now.
No, for sure, and now we've got a last stock situation with both of these players doing their best to stay ahead. I mean, Atlas a tiny bit ahead of the curve, but I mean ZSS can change that in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, the percentages here are almost, they're almost worthless for, you know, Zero Suit Samus in terms of being like, you know, being able to spike, being able to combo things into any, you know, kill throw or kill combo versus what is Atlas looking for right now?
Definitely a deep breathing tilt. I think right now what he wants to do mainly is not that.
Just like
and he's living Genius DI, actually. But yeah,
fantastic.
Now he got his deep breathing off and crouches the grab.
Becomes a real character only to be sent off.
For sure. Very good spacing by Waga. And now we've got a 1-0 for the ZSS, but very close game. Very, very close game.
Certainly, that was a very scrappy fight. He held on very long.
For sure. I was surprised he lived that boost kick. For sure. That up B. I was sure that'd be death, but hung on. Hopefully he can bring some of that fighting spirit with him to game 2.
How much is the stage pick going to matter for Wii Fit Trainer? Are these both characters that aren't really going to be trying to play to a certain stage advantage? They're both just going to, or are they just going to be looking really for specific situations in terms of interacting with each other?
Well, I think stage probably won't matter all too much in this matchup since both of them are so content to run forward. I think ZSS benefits more from tripods, but I'm sure Battlefield was banned. And barring that, I don't think there's any stage she's like incredibly good on, and the same goes for Wii Fit. So I think PS2 is a really first stage to go back on. After all, it was one hit away from Atlas taking that game.
I think I'd agree.
So why change what was clearly working? You know, just didn't have quite as much clutch as Waga did. But
just trying to push those game plans that you had initially a little bit further, or changing them in just that slight different direction. That way you can start catching them off guard, start getting those deep breathing kind of inserts combos, you know.
For sure, for sure. And getting off ledge successfully, really good stuff. And this is going to kill. No, good DI is going to save you there. So relatively early stock, very unfortunate for Atlas, but Wii Fit is definitely going to be in kill percent soon. ZSS.
Yeah, that first stock is going to be a lot more painful than last time just because of the illusions. This is his moment. He needs to start figuring, or they need to start figuring out whether or not what they're doing is in any way effective against the strategy that Waga's bringing.
And Atlas getting a lucky break there. SD by ZSS, and I'm fairly sure he could have made it back. Not sure Upsalt in the wound, but definitely the break Atlas was looking for there. So we'll see if he can take advantage of it. Things like that don't come often.
Just the excitement from these players is just so, it's infectious. You love to see how just the two dogs are just going for each other's throat.
Exactly, right? Both of them giving it all they got here, but ZSS probably going to have the matchup advantage and character advantage.
This is just such a nice flow of how they're interacting with each other. They're both trying to come in. They both have decent range in terms of trying to compete with each other with the Sunbeam, the volleyball, and I mean, Zare is really that we have coming to see out. But it's interesting to see them how they try and just fight for that air ground and that airspace.
No, for sure, for sure. They're both playing this matchup really interestingly. Atlas, another lucky break, a few inches to the right. And he died, but not mattering anyways. We're seeing a one-stock Wii Fit Trainer, potentially his tournament life on the line here. But of course, it's not over yet, and a dead even game going into the last stock. Waga getting the up smash and getting his combo started, but
this is one of those moments where not only Wii Fit Trainer needs to start doing some deep breathing, but also Atlas is going to start doing some deep breathing.
No, for real, you cannot rush situations like this. You need to look at all your options, look at them in a vacuum, and play as carefully as possible. And but Waga definitely rushing the win.
Just not right there.
Yeah, for real. Very well played by both players, but Waga.
One of those moments where switching to kind of a more defensive